Okay. And welcome back to Little Miss 20-something. Holy moly, guys. It's been like 3 months since I've podcasted.
Cleveland's got a voice that's golden with a podcast that's got everyone beholden. She's the queen of the airwaves.
Yeah, I know I said I was gonna get better with posting and then immediately fell off the face of the earth. So that's on me. Had some mental health struggles. I was gonna do an intro where I was gonna do the Hannah Baker intro and then be like, haha, psych. But I didn't know how distasteful that would be in light of the fact that it is September, Suicide Awareness Month. I do want to talk about that because, that is something I'm very passionate about. Guys, I literally have a semicolon tattoo. And for those of you that don't know what that means, basically it kind of means, my friend Space had a really good description of it, because he was like, why'd you get it? And he knows the meaning of it, but he wanted to hear why. I was like, I explained it really bad, and then he had the perfect, anyways, I guess in my eyes it kind of just means sometimes you feel like life needs to end and nothing can change and you can't see any way out of the situation you're in, and you're completely valid in feeling those things, but suicide is not the way out. I'm a big believer of this too shall pass. That saying helped me so much. Even when I do get into really bad spirals where I kind of downward spiral and have a little depression episode, I remember that, and I find so much peace in knowing that this too shall pass. The good, the bad, everything. Every moment, it's sad, it's a sad and good thing. It's a nostalgic feeling knowing this too shall pass. The good moments will pass, but so will the bad. Nothing will last forever. And I find a lot of peace in that, because that's what makes life so much more special, I think. Life is so good in the good moments because we experience such low lows in life. I can take so much more joy and happiness and peace in knowing who I am today because of everything I've experienced in my past. I think also suicide awareness is super important, and I wanted to bring it up today because today is the anniversary. It's been 1 year since my most recent sexual assault. Oh my gosh, I'm smacking the phone I'm recording on. And back when that happened, I didn't want to be here anymore, and I was in that time in a more stable position mentally, so I knew I wasn't going to commit suicide, but there was a long period, a long period where I just did not want to be here, every day. Holy moly, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional talking about this. I heard a girl describe it earlier today on TikTok or something, and it's after that happens to you, you would do anything to get out of your own skin. You hate it so much, and you're just like disgusted with yourself and hate every inch of it, and it's so painful to talk about myself like that, because I like to present as this super confident, awesomely, like, just, I think a lot of people think I'm egotistical, and I think part of that's just a stereotype for women. Like, men wouldn't get called egotistical, they'd get called confident. Women get called egotistical and cocky, but I'm very, like, proud of myself and confident, and, or at least I like to present that way all the time, and most of the time I am, but I think a lot of the time people don't realize how hard I had to work to get here. Like, when I look at myself freshman year of college, like, I mean, I'm the same person in a lot of ways, but I've grown so much into who I am because of the trauma I experienced, and I think that's part of the growth I've seen from even coming to terms with the saying, this too shall pass. Like, I know it sucks in those moments and it feels hopeless, but I know that something good is going to come out of it. And I know something good has come out of that situation, because even though I have been sent hate and some disgusting comments from people, when I came out with my story, I also was able to help a lot of girls. I've had, like, people reach out and ask how I got through it, and just, like, even just they needed someone to vent to, and I'm, oh my goodness, cut it out. I hate crying. But it makes me so happy that I'm at least able to help other people that have been through that same experience, because I was able to share my story, and even if I help one person, that's all I need. Wow. Whew. Did not think I was gonna get emotional like this. I was even debating podcasting, but I know it's just me being lazy and procrastinating. But okay, there's a car driving down this road, and I'm like sitting here crying. Oh well. And I was just telling my coworkers the other day, like, I don't cry, guys. I think they thought I was weird. And I think for me, that's like, oh, I'm so glad she did not acknowledge me. I give a lot of props to people that can clearly, like, read the moment. And she knew. I don't need to look. Anyways, I've struggled with depression a lot of different times throughout my life. Like, basically, I think the first time I had depression, or I guess I realized I was depressed, was like sophomore year of high school. My parents were getting divorced. My grandparents died, like, all over the course of the year. Actually, my first dog I ever had died. Like, my childhood dog died, and then we got a new dog, and then my parents announced they were getting divorced, and then my grandma died, and then 3 months later my grandpa died. But, like, I had family lie to me about him dying and getting worse and, like, sicker. for like 3 days. It was a whole thing. Anyways, that was like the first time I had depression. And I mean, high school is high school. I became like emo. If you know me in high school, let's not talk about it. Yes, I was the girl that would like post like half photos of her face with like a depressing quote I found on Pinterest. It is what it is, and it was what it was at the time. I don't know what to say. I was coping in the only way I apparently knew. But I mean, sometimes life hits and it just hits you out of nowhere, and it can happen to anybody. I mean, genuinely. I guess the moral of this is, if you're struggling, you're not alone, and just know it won't last forever. And even though you might feel really, really awful and like life just won't ever get better, it will. You gotta put in the work, and that might suck to hear because you don't want to do anything and you just want to be miserable. And I would even imagine sometimes I remember in a book I read like in middle school, there was this guy, and sometimes he would lay under his bed and just pretend he was laying in a bed of clouds, like floating in the sky. Sorry, every time I see or like hear an ambulance or cop car or any of that stuff, I say a little prayer for whoever it's going to, or whoever's in there. Anyways, like, I know sometimes you just want to feel numb and stop the pain and ignore it, but if you can feel that awful, just think about how awesome it'll feel when you don't feel like that anymore. That was worded so awful. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. But the moral, I guess I keep saying the moral of the story and then getting sidetracked and telling more stories. My ADHD's kicking in because I worked an hour late. Sorry. Anyways, if you guys are going through something, even if I don't know you and I've never talked to you in my life, if you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, or you feel like you want to talk to someone that has dealt with something similar, maybe, I'm always here. My DMs are always open. I check them too much just because I'm bored and addicted to social media. But maybe I'll say some things that have helped me when I kind of go into my depressive episodes, because I feel like something, I don't know if it's a ADHD thing or PTSD thing or any of my other things I have, but just taking time to be outside. That's also why I wanted to come outside to film this episode. Like, it's stunning, and if you're an audio listener, I apologize, but like, it's gorgeous. The sun is setting. I'm like sitting right by a sidewalk along a dirt road. It's literally like, how gorgeous is that? It's like stunning out. And just reconnecting with nature. Even if you do it for 5 minutes, working out, exercise always helps. You might not want to do it, but you feel really good after, and it feeds your body, endorphins. I think that's the right term. That might not be the right term. I'm awful at remembering the medical side of stuff. But working out, oh, love that. There's a little eyelash on me. That's gross. I hate that for me. Anyways, sorry. Working out, yoga. Yoga helps me. I have a lot of anger sometimes, and especially from a lot of the trauma that I've experienced. And yoga is so helpful. If you can afford it, I would 100% recommend doing hot yoga. The first time I did it, I literally, in that moment, mentally, physically, everything, it's probably the best I've ever felt in a long time. I've had a lot of cool life things happen, but mentally I felt amazing. I was high on life. Hot yoga is the best. In summary, hot yoga is the best. You'll feel amazing after. Even if you're not good at yoga and you're tight, just don't push it. I'm not telling you have to push it, but yoga's great. I love yoga. It just puts some, even if you do yoga outside or in your room, but make sure, maybe if you're doing it in your room, or do it in a room with there's a lot of natural light. But I do prefer doing it outside. It helps you to reconnect with nature, and it's just gorgeous. I feel taking a step away. When you're outside, you don't even need music. Just listen to nature around you and the sounds. Oh, it feels great. I've been practicing my headstand. So for those on YouTube, I might do some practice on YouTube for you all to enjoy. Oh yeah, I kind of got sidetracked earlier. Oh, things that help. Painting. Guys, some of you don't have hobbies. Not that you don't have hobbies. I think you have hobbies, you just haven't discovered them yet. But I was talking to my friend, and she was like, Caitlin, I don't have hobbies. And I was like, dude, you have to have hobbies. You gotta have something. There's so many things out in this world. You gotta have a hobby. You just haven't figured out what your hobbies are. For example, I like painting, I like yoga, I like the gym, I like to knit, I like to go on hikes or walks outside, try new things. Honestly, I'll do a lot. I just love trying things. Maybe that's a hobby, but yeah, you just gotta find a hobby. And if you guys don't know what you can do or hobbies you can have, comment either through Spotify, if you're listening to this through Spotify, or you can find me on Spotify, Little Miss 20 something, another plug, or just comment on YouTube, and I can make a list of hobbies to try at least in the next video, or make a YouTube video about me trying hobbies or something. What else? Clay. I saw clay making on TikTok. I think I'm gonna make some little clay magnets for when I get an apartment. What else? Oh, bracelet making. I know these are a lot more girly things, but guys can do them too. Guys can get crafty. You can build something like with wood. I don't have a lot of tools, so that's not particularly why I'm into that. I'm just gonna ignore this truck. I'm honestly glad all these people are ignoring me, because one time I was like doing stuff out here and I had someone roll down their window and ask if I was good, and I was like, nah guys, I'm chilling. But anyways, oh, earlier I was talking about how I went into like a kind of a month-long depression. I don't even know if I went into that at all. No, like, I mean, I know I went into it. I mean, I don't know if I talked about it, went into it. Anyways, back in like June, I broke my elbow. I was out at the bar with a couple friends and Coyote Joe's, and I went to take a picture, and there was a like bra pad, like it goes in the bra, but it was like a removable one. Naturally, someone felt the need to take out their bra pad from their bra at the bar in the middle of the dance floor and just throw it on the ground. Obviously, I don't want to touch that, so I went to kick it away. I'm in my cowboy boots, and we're on slippery ground, and I, slippery slipped, pulled a Mario Kart, both legs go up in the air, land on my elbows and booty, and both of my elbows were like bleeding. I was in an immense amount of pain. Immediately, I was like, my elbow does not feel right, like something's not right. Something's not right, and it really sucks, but like, I'm in public. I'm not about to cry in public over this silly little injury from me kicking a bra pad, for God's sake. Like, of course I'm getting injured from kicking a bra pad at the bar, and like, everyone thought I was gonna be like drunk. No guys, I was dead sober. I was the DD. All I had that night was a literal Red Bull, so if anything, I was like tweaking off of a Red Bull. I'm like, yeah. So adrenaline's going. I'm like kind of playing it off. We didn't leave for another like 20 minutes or so, because I was like, nah, this elbow thing hurts and we need to go, because like, this is not okay. And we're in the car, and I was driving, and I literally, like, when we were getting in the car, I was like, nah, I can like literally not move my elbow. Like, it was so bad. Like, I could move it like with a radius of like probably 1.5 inches or maybe 2 inches. Like, it hurt to move it, like extreme pain to move it any more than that. And then we were in the car, and we were about halfway through the drive home, because it's an hour drive from my house, and like 2 of my fingers started tingling and kind of going numb, and I was like, nah, because this is not okay. But I was like, Caitlin, hold it together. Like, it was one of my friends last night, like, that we were gonna be with her, so I was like, nah, I'm not ruining this. So I was just chilling, and then we like left, and I was like, maybe I'll just like go to the doctor tomorrow morning. And then it was like so bad. Like, after I dropped them both off, I was like, nah, I'm driving home. And the fire station's on the way home, and I saw that, and I, like, from watching 911, like the TV show, I was like, nah, these firefighters got medical training, like, at least to some basic level, so like, they can tell me if it's like bad enough where like I really need to go to the ER, or I can just wait till tomorrow morning, and they can maybe like wrap it up for me or something, get me chilling at least for the night. So I go in there, and mind you, I'm in an immense amount of pain, but I also have a high pain tolerance. So like, I'm in the drive home after I left my friends, like after I dropped off the 2 girls, I'm like playing David Goggins. I'm like, David Goggins carried the books. This man ran, and all his feet were like, all the bones in his feet were broken, and he still finished the race. You can make it to the fire station, Caitlin. Like, don't cry, David Goggins. Like, I am like screaming about David Goggins. I'm playing him. I'm playing Joe Rogan. I'm like, come on, like, you gotta like hold it together. Now that I pull up to the fire station, and I like buzz in, and like the guy comes in, he goes, "What's wrong?" Immediate like sobbing, like could not control it, like my elbow, and like it like did hurt, and I think I just needed someone to ask to like allow me to like release the water tower of emotions that I had kept in up until that point. So the fireman like wrapped me up, iced it, and was like, I don't think it's like fully broken, but it's probably like fractured, which when I broke my wrist it was fractured, which is like a less severe break. And so like luckily they were like, well, he was like, you should go to the ER tonight. But when he said fractured, I heard it can wait till the morning, even if I'm in an immense amount of pain right now. Because first of all, I am not trying to drive. It was already like 1 a.m. By the time I got home, it was like 1:30 or 1:45. And I was like, nah, because I am not about to drive to the ER and be there for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours just to get admitted for them to tell me something that I could hear if I just went to the doctor in the morning. And like depending on how long I'm waiting, like I could be getting to the doctor within like 3 or 4 hours of getting in to see a doctor at the ER. And I was like, nah, I can just David Goggins like thug this thing out. Oh man, I just messed up my makeup. Oh well. So I thugged it out. I drove home. I accidentally scared my mom because I was like, I'm at the fire station, I got injured, and then didn't elaborate. And I actually no, I think I just said I'm injured, and then my at the fire station part didn't send, and so she was like super concerned, and I had like 4 missed calls from her. And then I got home and she was like, I'm so glad you're okay, but like why didn't you text me what was going on? And I was like, oh, like my bad, like my second text didn't sound, I guess. But yeah, then I went in the morning, got an x-ray, confirmed it was fractured. Then I went to a place later that day because it was like a Friday, and I got it in a soft cast. It was in a soft cast for I think 10 or 12 days, and then it was like 2.5 weeks it was in a soft cast for. And then I had it in a sling for another 2 weeks, and then I went into the doctor after that, and he was like, you're good to go, gave me some stretches. Now it's full range of motion, I can work out, the guns are smaller but they're still there. But yeah, when you can't drive or really leave the house for like a month, it makes you go into a depression. So yeah, that really, really, really sucked. It felt like the walk of shame when I walked into work with my arm in a soft cast and my brother following me because I could barely do anything. And so that was, yeah, I like couldn't drive, I couldn't go anywhere. I think I left the house like 4 times in a month. It was like awful. Like I didn't text anyone. Like I think people, when I go into my little depressive episodes, think like me not texting them is like personal, like I'm mad at you. No guys, I'm not talking to anyone. It's called I'm depressed and self-isolate, and I punish myself for whatever I think I deserve that for, and I just want to be alone and not talk to anyone. And even though I'm the biggest extrovert in the world, and in fact socializing would help, I don't know, I self-isolate instead, and I spiral, and sometimes it gets really bad and I don't talk to people for extended periods of time. But that's life, and it happens, and it's okay. And if your friends do that, check in on them. Like maybe something's going on, and let that be a hint. Like check in on all of your friends, even your happy friends. Like, I think a lot of people think I'm not always necessarily going through stuff just because I'm constantly presenting that this is a super happy, joking, goofy person, and most of the time I'm chilling. Like right now, life's been great lately. Like, I mean, today's been rough, obviously, because it's been a year since that situation, but besides that, like this past 3 weeks or so have been some of, like, mentally I've been doing the best I have, honestly, in a year, like, since this happened. And that's just so exciting for me that I'm finally back to my old self. But check in on your friends that are happy. And like, I remember when that happened to me, most of my friends found out I was assaulted either through my TikTok or my Snapchat story, because I made this giant, like, 1-minute video talking about how men need to stop assaulting people. And like, I don't know, I was really pissed off. I mean, what can you expect of me the morning after when I've slept 3 or 4 hours and I hate being in my own skin? But anyways, check in on your own friends, reconnect with nature if it's been a while, or if you're unwell, or if it's been a while, just reconnect. Look at a sunset, it's gorgeous. But just know this too shall pass. And I think I'm just gonna do some yoga now before the sun fully sets and the mosquitoes get worse out here. But also, instead of talking crap about me, just unfollow. It's so easy. And also, if you are getting joy out of hating on me, you're honestly helping me succeed, because the views and the comments and the shares all help push the algorithm. So I thank you, because just know, no matter what you say, that doesn't change how I see me. So you can talk all you want, but I don't care, it doesn't affect me. What you say only reflects you. But if you're a hater, we'll be sending you love and prayers, and one day maybe you will be a fan. And just know, if you're a hater, you actually are a secret fan too. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next time. Like and subscribe. Oh, maybe I should move back a little bit. Okay. Nope. Nope. Oh. Oh. I made a treat for my back. Was that one? Will I continue? Yes, I will. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I did it, and I got it on video. So I did in fact just watch that video back to see my legs were not in fact straight in the air. So it was like half a headstand. So still new progress for me. I do in fact realize though I am not in fact there yet, and I cannot in fact do a full headstand. Also, I'm very aware it felt a lot longer when I was doing it. Felt like my legs were off the ground longer. And I realize now that was probably 5 seconds of my legs being airborne. And I just wanted to pop in and say, I've seen the footage now, and I'm aware of where my progress really is. Oh, I just did it. Okay, let's see if I can do it again. That was awesome. I'm excited to see how that looked. I probably wasn't fully straight, but oh well. Holy crap, that was pretty cool. Oh, ouch. Okay. I can do it though. I can do it. Okay. What are you scared of? Do it. Do it now. Oh, 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 oh. 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 See, this is what I mean, guys. Like, life's gorgeous. Because I just did a headstand for the first time. The sunset looks like this. And there's all of these geese just migrating. Like, you really can't see them all, but there's hundreds. Like, and to think, a year ago today, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be in my skin. And now I'm comfortable a year later with like slouch rolls showing, doing yoga on camera. And I've shared my sexual assault story. So you never know where life's gonna go, but just know it usually gets better, especially when you put in the work. And I mean, just enjoy it. Enjoy where you're at. Even if you're not where you think you should be. I mean, hell, you only live once. Especially a lot of my viewers. You're probably in your 20s. You're in college or just graduating. You'll never be this free to do whatever you want. And like have such little commitment, like owe people, like you probably don't owe anyone anything. Like, oh my gosh, the bugs are disgusting right now. But like, do what you want. Take that trip to Europe, move to Europe, go volunteer across the world, quit your job, move across the country, go back to school, do whatever you've been wanting to do, because you don't know when life's gonna throw that punch at you. You don't know what could happen tomorrow. So do whatever the hell you want, and if people judge you, they're probably not the right people in your life, because as long as you're doing what you love and it's not hurting or harming any other person, it shouldn't matter, because if it makes you happy, that should make them happy. So live life to the fullest, even if it's just where you're at now, and even if that means living at home and doing yoga and enjoying the sunset. Do it and enjoy the most out of it. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Happy September. I love you guys. Feel free to reach out if you need it. But yeah. Thanks for tuning in to Little Miss 20 something. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at Caitlin_S842, or I think it's Little Miss 20 something with like 3 or 4 G's. I don't know, I'll put it in the YouTube video, and I will put it in the description on Spotify. Little Miss 20 something on Spotify and YouTube, and you can find me on TikTok at crazykatie8.